Everyone knows the feeling of seeing a classic Mahindra Thar on the road. It has an undeniable presence, a raw, aggressive stance that immediately makes you want to get behind the wheel. But bringing that idea home usually hits a brick wall, the family veto. You want to kick up dirt on the weekends, but your family has to actually live with the vehicle from Monday to Friday. The old three-door model made daily life difficult. Putting elderly parents in the back seat meant forcing them into a clumsy physical contortion just to squeeze past the front seats. And once they were back there, you couldn't carry any luggage because the cargo space was virtually non-existent. Mahindra is trying to solve this specific problem with the Thar ROXX. It's a 5-door version designed entirely around the claim that you can keep the rugged aesthetic without punishing your passengers. The question is whether bolting on 2 extra doors actually solves the rough ride and cramped quarters, or if it simply gives you a heavier, thirstier vehicle to manage in city traffic. This quadrant chart maps the traditional SUV market. X-axis, family practicality. Y-axis, rugged road presence. The original 3-door sits top left. Huge presence, impractical. Standard urban crossovers sit bottom right. Practical but lacking rugged aesthetic. The ROXX aims to claim the empty top right corner. If the ROXX actually achieves that position, it stops being a selfish weekend toy and becomes a highly logical purchase for a one-car household. We need to check the actual hardware to see if it earns that spot. Let's look at the physical geometry, starting with the clearest upgrade, the addition of 2 dedicated rear doors. This single change removes the primary friction point of the old model. Your parents or guests can now open a door and sit straight down, entirely eliminating the embarrassing routine of folding down the front seat and crawling into the back. To fit those doors, Mahindra extended the wheelbase. This stretch gives the vehicle a more commanding, substantial look on the highway. The immediate trade-off is maneuverability. That extra length makes parallel parking in tight urban spaces noticeably more difficult. Inside, that extended wheelbase translates directly into usable passenger volume. Even if you are 6 feet tall, your knees will clear the front seats, and the under-thigh support holds up on long trips. The most aggressive correction, however, is behind the rear seats. The old model forced you to carry luggage on your passengers' laps. The new cargo area is massive. This split-screen comparison table highlights the difference. The 3-door model offered virtually 0 usable capacity with the seats up, while the ROXX provides 644 liters. Practically, this means loading 4 large suitcases while comfortably seating 5 passengers. You no longer have to choose between picking up your relatives at the airport or picking up their bags. You can finally do both at the same time. Based purely on the physical dimensions, the legroom, and the cargo volume, the ROXX delivers on the promise. It functions properly as a dedicated family hauler. Static space is only half the equation.
The other historical deal-breaker was the physical discomfort of riding in the old model on a bad road. The Thar uses a ladder frame chassis. Unlike a unibody car where the frame and body are one piece, a ladder frame mounts the heavy body on top of rigid steel rails. That architecture is incredibly durable, but it inherently passes the harsh impact of bumps right into the cabin. Mahindra completely overhauled the suspension geometry for the ROXX. It now absorbs deep potholes without launching rear passengers out of their seats, and it stays firmly planted on the highway even at 120 kilometers per hour. But you cannot cheat physics. This remains a tall, heavy, ladder frame vehicle. When taking a corner, you will feel weight transfer and mild body roll. It will never give you the completely flat, magic carpet ride of a soft crossover. That heavy physical footprint also dictates your daily running costs. Pushing a large block of steel through the air requires a lot of fuel. To manage this, you have 2 distinct engine choices, the high-performance Turbo Petrol and the highly practical mHawk diesel. Here is the efficiency matrix. The powerful Turbo Petrol yields only 7 to 9 kilometers per liter city and 10 to 12 highway. The mHawk diesel yields 10 to 12 city and 16 highway, making monthly fuel bills manageable. The ride quality is vastly improved, but the economic reality is strict. If you have a long daily commute, the petrol engine is a financial liability. Middle-class buyers relying on this as their primary vehicle need to choose the diesel. The ROXX represents a massive evolutionary step.
It pulls the Thar platform out of the mud and places it squarely in the driveway of the average family. It is built for drivers who demand the commanding highway authority of a traditional SUV, but refuse to compromise their family's comfort on long road trips. Let's run this through a decision tree based on your specific lifestyle. If your absolute top priority is soft, sedan-like comfort and zero body roll, you should avoid ladder frame SUVs entirely and buy a crossover. But if you want rugged presence combined with genuine family utility, the ROXX is the correct choice. Within that choice, look at your daily drive. If your commute is under 30 kilometers and you value refinement, buy the petrol. If you drive heavily every day, you must buy the diesel. Do not buy this vehicle if 90% of your driving is spent crawling through stop-and-go city traffic while expecting it to handle like a nimble hatchback. It is simply too large for that to make sense. Choosing a heavy, ladder frame SUV means accepting its physical weight and handling characteristics, not just enjoying how it looks parked outside your house. And if you are strictly budget conscious, the diesel engine is the only effective defense against the high running costs of hauling that much steel around town. The math is clear. If the lack of rear doors, the spine-rattling suspension, and the zero cargo space were the specific reasons holding back your purchase, the Thar ROXX successfully eliminates those excuses. The family veto has been overturned.